I mean, as far as developers go and the development property that's here, that's available in the Metroplex and in Texas, is, they're having a tough time right now because there's a lot more developers that are here than there used to be. And so there's a lot more competition. Also, with all that competition, a lot more developers, there's less land. The good thing about our market and the good thing about Gordon Highlander is we're adapting very well to the market needs and the market demands, the supply chain issues, all that good stuff. So I don't know if there's a pencil down approach as opposed to just making sure that, the developers want to make the right decision. We've got, a lot more developers and a lot more tenants are wanting to come in and do build-to-suits, which we've done a good job of trying to go after that market as well.
The speculative market a lot of times is based on speed to market, right? It's how fast can you have the facility available for lease, or how fast can it sell? And so if you're behind your competition, they're going to sell or they're going to lease before yours are. That increases your carry time, increases the cost of building the project ultimately in construction. If it's a build-to-suit product, then you have material deliveries that get scheduled way in advance, and you have to have your facility ready at the time that the materials are coming, because storage and logistics to arrange those are difficult. And so in the industrial market, I would tell you, schedule management and communication around schedule management is probably the number one priority for almost every one of the projects. And that comes with trust and transparency on their part as well, right? You need to know these are the dates, these are what we have to hit. And then you take that to the subcontractors and say, these are the dates that we have to hit. How are we going to do it? And put your plan in place, execute your plan. Intermediate markers for how we're tracking and what we're going to do. Really playing everything close to vest, I think that's not the right way to build these days. I think you have to be open and honest and partner with your contractor all the way down through the subcontractors to make sure everybody's hearing the same message.
A really good thing about Gordon Highlander is that we've got relationships that we've built over the years. We've got subcontractors that we call our partners because they have been a partner since we started the business. And just being able to partner up with them and come up with creative solutions to get tenants into spaces, some of these spec offices that we getting those completed in a timely manner so that then the developer or whoever's owning the building can get that space leased out as quickly as possible.
The challenge with the supply chain is not going away anytime soon. The difference between now and when this became a major issue in the first quarter of 21 is there's much more communication around what's happening. There's less surprises. And so things are more predictable. And if you can get a more predictable outcome, then you can schedule around it.
We're trying to get materials fast-tracked and get them ordered sooner than later. So when we're working through deal strategy, before a deal even really comes together, we're already talking to that developer, talking to that building owner, trying to create ways to get these materials in our hands faster than we are able to if we waited until the ink is dry on a contract. So that's one strategy, is trying to get materials expedited and ordered quicker so that we can get them in our hands.
I would strongly recommend developers choose design-build partners early on because it'll help a lot in speed to market. By going the design-build route, you're able to cut that timeline down. It doesn't guarantee your lease is going to get executed any sooner for your back-end tenant, but it guarantees your building will be ready sooner, which gives you the opportunity to market your building sooner, which gives you the opportunity to cut down on that carry time at the back end of the job. But if you go the same, this is just how we've always done it way, then you're losing very valuable time up front and kind of stepping over dollars to pick up quarters. Coordinating with municipalities is also an underrated issue right now as it relates to completion of projects and the timely completion of projects, because getting the jobs started is harder than what it ever was because of the number of jobs that are going through these municipalities, plan review teams. It's taking a lot longer to get them started. And at the same time, on the backside of jobs, it's taking a long time to get these things closed out. Really meeting with the city early to coordinate a plan for your permit to be available and then your contractor being proactive and starting to meet with the city a month, 2 months, 3 months in advance of turning the project over to make sure that you're meeting the requirements that the city's going to have to turn it over is critical. Because if you're not planning how to get your final inspections and the order that they have to go into and the things that have to be submitted early enough to be in front of that, that will cost you weeks and weeks of time where there's nothing happening in the building except back of scene things for your contractor to be turning stuff into the city. I think cities appreciate that more than just contractors trying to do something now and ask for forgiveness later, because it's the proactive approach of how can we make this happen, communicate upstream and downstream. You can solve a lot of problems that way. It's when you try to keep everything close to vest and we'll just ask for forgiveness. If we get caught, we'll just say sorry. That's not going to get where you need to go. You've got to be in front of it with the municipalities because they do need you to come in and start running your business because their tax revenues are based on that.
Another thing with just being adaptive and being able to move and adjust to the market is just, I'm going to fall back on our subcontractor partners and being able to trust that relationship and come up with creative solutions to get tenants into spaces faster, trying to hit their schedules, because all of our tenants, they're if we've got a building that's sold and we've got a tenant that's trying to get in that space, they're trying to get revenue as quickly as possible. And so for us to be able to do that, we've got to trust our partners and be able to come up with creative solutions. We're constantly striving to strengthen those relationships that we have, and then also go after new relationships, whether it's the broker or the developer. Everybody's important in this game.
But you need a contractor that you can trust, and a contractor willing to be transparent and honest and forthright with issues. And you can get a feel of that usually when you're talking to them as to whether or not is this just a salesman or is this a guy that really is committed to making this a success for both of us and not just committed to adding to their revenues. That's, I think, the biggest differentiator in your contractor market.